Hello, everyone. This is Isabella with Angel Chantress Love. Today, we're going to be working with the Great White Brotherhood to clear secret societies. So the first thing that came through was the Order of the Black Rose, and I was shown the word Lucifer in all caps, and the name Jasmine came through. I'm not sure if Jasmine is a particular connection to this order or if this is just for a particular person. So let's see what the angels and guides are going to bring through today. O mehana mehaso imalauna mehana imakalata mekano Nimosahona ito almekano, almalekuno almalekuno, imakan vekan mekano, imasahata almekano, imakan mesahan mesano. Okay, so they're showing me an image that I saw the other day of a prime demon going down into the underworld in like an elevator, like a clear elevator. And they're showing me a cavern where the Great White Brotherhood has assembled this group of very powerful white magicians who are coming to help clear these energies out today. And I see them all like placing their hands in a forward position towards the center of the circle that they're standing in. You see a lot of rune symbols on the ground, like a golden, I almost want to say it's a shield, but it's like placed horizontally. And it's got, it looks like angel sigils all over it. And as they are reaching towards it, I can see a light emanating from their fingertips. And this like shield is like vibrating very powerfully. So it looks like they're going to call the secret societies into the circle under the shield so they can start bringing all these energies to justice and clearing them out. Ayana Niyuratusa Ayamatae Niyavalaya Ayamalai Alamesona Ayamasai. And they're showing me a lot of visions of men who are in just like rags and they're just being like tortured and tormented, just brutalized, beaten and cut. And it looks like I'm in the center of a town square where these people are being judged very harshly. It looks like they've been in this condition for some time. Many of them have like wounding around their wrists. So it looks like they were like chained to like dungeon walls and such. And their ankles as well. And they're showing me like quarries and stuff where people are like, they have like sledgehammer type tools and they're like breaking down rocks and something about building for higher society, the enslavement. It looks like it's really arid and there's no like water or anything nearby. Well, there is a pump, but it's quite a ways away from the man and it's guarded. Let's go ahead and clear just the bondage energy. It's like really prevalent. No one has a right to bind anyone. You can bind spiritual energies, shouldn't be binding actual people because the spirits are actually operating through the vessels of the bodies. Some bodies are just empty vessels and like holographic projections, and others are actual people who have been just unhealed. When we don't heal our wounds, we open ourselves up to being inhabited by these lower vibrational frequencies, these demonic energies, and these mind control societies. Let's clear all that out. Haya vata eka vaitame ya nachameo anamanae avati suna asavekane yamana saemani so anamane soe Alveola, alveole, alveonavana, alveole. The bring-in is just beautiful light. I'm seeing these men like starting to stand up and straighten up, the ones who have been beaten down. And I'm seeing their wounds just being healed in this gorgeous white light that is being projected on them by the Great White Brotherhood. I'm seeing probably about 60 angels as well surrounding these men and helping them to heal from just being broken by the conditioning of these societies. They're wanting me to switch to the Freemasons now, so let's go ahead and clear that energy and call that energy forward. Anamasa, anamasa, emanave, evata, 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 vae. Showing me like under a castle, a group of men gathered, and they've got, looks like they're writing, I'm being told that they're writing decrees. You want to make sure that anytime someone tries to get you to agree to something, there's actually like a spiritual decree that happens, an agreement between the two of you. So even if you don't argue your truth, and this is something I used to do a lot, was that I didn't argue with people because I decided they had a right to their own opinion. And even if it didn't match mine, I didn't feel the need to defend my own opinion because I wasn't, standing in ego over it, and I was confident in what I believed. But I realized later on that this is a form of agreement when you don't rebuke it and stand up for it, either physically or spiritually. So if you are in a disagreement with someone, you don't feel confident that you can physically speak your truths without harm, then you can certainly speak your truth mentally or spiritually. You can call forward their high self. You can communicate in that way. You can let them know that you're a divine being that has the right to your own free will and that they don't have a right to control you. You want to make sure you're clearing any mental traps. If you're around somebody and you feel like the thoughts that you're having are not your own, most likely you're getting projected onto from others, and it can come in all forms. It can come in, the media or the billboards that you see or the magazines or people having conversations around you or with you, or the music in the store or whatever. They're constantly being programmed. So you want to make sure that anytime you feel like your energy is kind of drained or depleted after you've interacted with someone or even just had like an emotional reaction to anything that you've witnessed or felt, then make sure that you're ground yourself deep into the earth. You can see roots or cordings going out from the base of your feet and encircling the crystalline core of Gaia. And then make sure that you're connecting above you through your higher chakras to the spirit world and connect with the divine source energy. And then shield yourself with like a golden and white shield around you, like a bubble. And that'll help shift some of that energy for you. Aneo avadika alameka asamika alameka na Yemanavalalea Alvitonamvala Evila Osmikanaka Ekmikano Alveohan Meohan Meano. Now wanting me to switch to the Illuminati. I had an experience many years ago when I was first coming into my spiritual power, where I was kind of projecting my energy as being capable of going anywhere, doing anything that I wanted. And I actually saw an Illuminati popped into my energy field. He's remote viewing me within just seconds of me even having the thought of and the feeling of being very powerful. And he was sitting, it was like a blonde headed man that was tall, and he was sitting in a director chair, kind of leaning back, and he kind of looked at me for a moment and then realized that I wasn't there yet. I wasn't powerful and my intentions weren't harmful or anything really. I was just kind of thinking about what I would do if I was all powerful, And he actually stood up from his chair and stepped across the room at me and kissed me on the third eye and then vanished. So you want to be careful when you're having these mental projections. There are a lot of people who do have the power to not only view you remotely, but they also have the ability to stop and block your path if they know too much. So you have to really be careful and make sure that you're really sealing your energy field well and protecting your transmissions to the universe and to God to keep them safe until they're, well formed and you can protect yourself. So you can always call on the Great White Brotherhood, and you can call on the angels to assist you in keeping a really solid, safe, clear connection with the divine when you're wanting to manifest something. And I wanted me to speak on monitoring spirits. So anyone who's unhealed around you can become a channel for a lower vibrational frequency, or people like this who are remote viewing, they can use different things. They can use mirrors, they can use scrying, they can pick up on your mental thoughts, they can pick up on your emotions. Emotions can be traced. They can have readings done on you. They can project these spirits. These spirits will enter people's bodies, lower vibrational spirits like demonics or anything that can basically be brainwashed can enter into a human vessel, and then they become a monitoring spirit to spy on you, to see what it is that you are doing, what you're up to. There are also implanted devices, fourth dimensional implants that can be used to spy on you. And if you reach a certain level of development, you'll get stuck. You'll get stopped and blocked. Or your life will get literally destroyed at that moment when you reach a certain level, like a glass ceiling almost. So they want you to be aware that all of these things need to be removed. You need to be a clear vessel for the divine, and make sure that anyone who's around you is willing to do that kind of work and be on that path, because if they're not, they're going to actually threaten your path if you're on a higher mission for God. Because of all these monitoring spirits, you can request that the monitoring spirits be blinded, and that's like psychic blinding, it's not physical blindness. So because these things will come through animals, they'll come through bees, they'll come through crows, they'll come through mirrors, they'll come through reflections from your television screen, they'll come through your neighbors, your friends, your coworkers, basically anyone who releases their own energy for even just a moment can become a vessel for a spying spirit, for a monitoring spirit. So just make sure if you feel like you're being watched, that you clear those energies. You ask to have any monitoring spirits blinded so so they can't be checking up on you all the time. And you'll notice when this is working that people will ask you weird, random questions and like very invasive questions that really aren't any of their business. So please do not ever feel like you need to explain yourself. It's not their business. It's not their right. And they're just trying to get information to stop and block you. So make sure you're protecting your ideas and your plans, and make sure you're not, it's a good idea to not complain to people about what's going wrong, because when you do that, you actually end up connecting to a lot of these spirits too, and they feed off of the weaknesses. So if you're hurt or upset, or maybe you had a breakup, or maybe your car broke down, try not to talk too much about anything to anyone that you don't need to about those lower occurrences in your life, because when you do open yourself up to these spirits who try to just invasively intrude. It's like an invasive species on the planet. Aichmakana tahe mikana lamiya hasana lamiana eyamiya hasamala eyamiyana ajmeya hasamana nameya imalana eyamiyana alamiya nameya. I'm seeing a black shuck, which is like a fairy dog from the like lower realms. Why am I being shown this? Somebody may have like a fairy ring in their backyard, it looks like. And fairy rings aren't bad per se. They're just, it depends on what's coming through. So it looks like this is a darker ring. I'm getting the unseelie port. So you might want to look that up. There's a Seelie court, which are higher vibrational fairies, and there's an unseelie court, which is like the opposite of them, the darker. So it looks like these mushrooms are actually kind of like have a dark tint to them. Some of them are black. So if that is the case, you can sprinkle that with like black sea salt and make some kind of a noise around it, ring a bell or bang, pot and pan, whatever you have available to you. They're showing me like a garbage can lid and someone banging on it. They're showing you like chopping that down and just like throwing it in a bag and tying the bag shut and getting rid of it. Yeah, because this is a really low vibe energy and it's attracting lower frequency entities to your property. Okay, so we're going to switch to the Knights Templar. Let's call that energy forward. And immediately they're showing me like people's wrists, their hands being cut off for stealing, for taking hidden knowledge. Okay, so they're showing me like scribes who were trying to like spread the word of this order and being punished for it. Let's clear that. Anavahero alanahe Yanavaheto alanavahe Ayanala Eonavahe Yamanahosa alanavahe Asamekota Leone Yemanavaneo Hanameone. I see the Archangel Raphael's here. This beautiful emerald green fire. That's to heal these wounds. Someone who listens to this is going to feel this energy because they were, victimized by this group. And you may feel it in your wrists as like a soreness, a tightness, but even just like a really itchy, tingling sensation. They're reminding me of many years ago. I saw myself as a queen who was actually beheaded by this executioner who I met in this lifetime as a fallen angel. But I remember this sensation of healing that wound. And it was like 3 days of just feeling like there were ants millions of ants crawling all over my neck. It was just the most horrible sensation. And anyone who got near me, I just about flipped out on. It's like, don't touch me. So, you may have sensations that are very strong from these clearings of being bound and being harmed. So just be aware of that. Just drink lots of fluid. Continue to call in angelic fire to clear this. Continue to call on the Great White Brotherhood to assist you, or Jesus, or the angels, or Yahweh, whoever you communicate with in the spirit world is totally fine. They will get the right energies to you to help you heal from these wounds. Amaseo no aialawai. I am I osamanai. Iovolate almeane. I am almeane. Okay, now I need to switch over to the skull and bones. So let's bring that order forward. It's showing me that someone had a lot of pirating lives. I'm seeing someone standing up in a crow's nest with a looking glass. Seeing men on the deck who are like drunk and messing with the rigging. And the sea is pretty rough. So let's go ahead and clear the pirate energy out. Achmea navaito honmea ha elavata kahanmea ha imuna havata meona chakavata manmekana. I don't know much about the Skull and Bones Secret Society, so I don't even know if that's related to piracy. I might have to look that one up, but let's go ahead and call that forward. Now they're showing me somebody walking the plank. Oh, let's go to that. Achmiyata tahetmika ekamata vata nameka enakamana nameka Ivanana Nehemina. Back on the pirate ship again. So, I'm seeing people below decks. Looks like they have cups of something in front of them. And someone's really angry. They're like hitting their fist on the wooden table. Stuff is kind of sliding around on the floor. It hasn't been secured. Some people are lying in bunks. I'm getting that they're planning some kind of like a mutiny. They're not getting all the like rewards that they want. They're, they're going out and stealing from others, but they're not getting as much as they want. So for some reason they feel very entitled. And I think a lot of these groups do. So let's clear all that out. Now they're showing someone adrift on a boat, a little wooden boat. The sail is like not up and the sun is just beating down on them. So this looks like they're going to die at sea. They don't have any food or fresh water. They're going to starve. Okay, so let's clear the starvation and the abandonment and the loss of frequency. Why are they saying loss of frequency? There's something with the sun and the frequency and this person being disconnected from the frequency of the sun. The sun is something we use energetically to like, it's a portal and we use it to kind of like burn up sometimes a lot of these old dense frequencies. So this person disconnected, and that's why they're passing on from it. So they're not able to connect properly. And with the secret societies, they're taking action that is in the dark. It's in the secret realms. They're showing me a forest with a full moon some kind of ritual being performed. Jeez. They're showing me a man who's like been staked to the ground, and they're doing some kind of a ritual. They're throwing stuff at him. It's like almost like an acid or something. It's like just torturing this guy. Oh, okay, let's get out of this energy. Let's see what we can do to clear this out. Okay, so the Great White Brotherhood is connecting the sun and the shield together to help heal some of these wounds that these people over countless lifetimes have suffered because of these groups. And there are just so many of them. I'm only, naming a few, but we're going to clear all of this. They're bringing in more and more of the White Brotherhood to assist in clearing all of this. Pulling forth all of the contracts with these beings, both known and unknown, seen and unseen, and we're burning them up in angelic fire. So they are null and void. They're showing more and more white-robed men from this brotherhood, the Great White Brotherhood, who are coming forward and are holding candles. There are like millions of them coming towards this circle. Okay, so they're burning a candle for each of the victims, they're saying, to burn up this energy for the victims. And they're saying as each light goes out, it refers to the victim's soul being released from this bondage. They're also saying that if you are connected to anyone who is victimized by a secret society in any time, space, dimension, reality, or plane of existence, you can certainly amplify this energy to help them heal by lighting a candle yourself and allowing it to burn out. Now bowing their heads in reverence. They're showing the shield now. It's like with the light they're emanating at this shield, they're raising it up into the air above them, and they're turning it, and they're spinning it in like a circle horizontally. Okay, so they're like duplicating it. So the shield that was held horizontally is now on top, and it's duplicated on the bottom and on all sides. And now it's spinning and it's becoming the sun. So they're sending all of this energy to the great central sun for cleansing. Calling forth anyone who needs healing for this. And they're showing all of the Great White Brotherhood now are bowing down, touching their foreheads to the ground in reverence of this divine energy and clearing. They're asking me to take Asma's sword of truth and stab it down into the center of this circle to help unveil all truths about these energies so that they can be eradicated and they can be cleared and cleansed. That is not of the highest and greatest divine light will be removed, cleansed, purified, forgiven. So I'm going to just bring in more light. The whole chamber has become a giant glowing light. And they're wanting to speak on how the ego can be very manipulative. It can be very prideful, unwilling to yield, unwilling to surrender. There are a lot of people and beings channeling through people who feel that they have some kind of a right or some kind of a say-so in another's life, and they absolutely do not. God has granted life to every single being, and it is the misuse of our divine gift of life that creates these dark places within us and these dark covenants and these dark groups that form against the light. And it is up to each and every individual to not only stay out of everyone else's business, but to take charge of their own energy and to awaken to the fact that every single thought and every single emotion that we have affects everyone. We are all connected. We are all interwoven. And it is up to every single individual spark of the divine to choose that highest path, that highest version of self in order to clear and clean all of these energies off the planet. There are many entities here which do not belong. They were created by the divine, but they have their place. And this planet is not necessarily that place for them. That's why we clear these energies and send them back to their rightful place. Every single one of us is responsible for our own emotions, our own choices, and we can't place that on another. As an empath, people often think that they can core dump into my field and I'll fix it for them and they can continue on their way doing bad acts. And that's just not how it works. It's not anyone's responsibility but the person who had the thought, who had the emotion, who took the action to fix it. There are many on the planet now who are helping to lift these denser, heavier energies, but that does not mean that we are here to fix who anyone is or change their course of action. They have to do that for themselves. They have to choose the higher thought, the higher emotion, the higher deed, and they have to face what they have done. And they have to look in the mirror and they have to recognize their own participation and own their energy, be it good, bad, or indifferent. We have all done things that were not kind and were not in alignment with divine source. But karma is not a punishment. It's a reflection of what is inside of us or what we have allowed or what we have agreed to. And we have to honor that and we have to balance the scales. The universe always demands balance. So eventually, even if it takes 20 lifetimes for something to catch up with someone, if you're going through something and you're struggling and you're wondering why and you're feeling victimized, they're saying seek forgiveness. Because at some point, you either took an action that harmed another and the universe is balancing that now, or you misaligned your energies and stayed in a lower vibration or frequency, and it attracted even more to you. Every thought and emotion that you have is attracting. It's in your field. It's attracting to you. So if you're focused on waking up and having a good day and having a positive experience and everything, and if something goes wrong in that day and you feel like, I did everything I could, I was being so positive, why is this negative thing happening? Just recognize that there could be a couple of things that are happening. Either your light is triggering the darkness in someone else around you who, rather than looking within their own soul and figuring out how they can heal, they're projecting onto you their anger and their resentment and their fear and their lack, or there is something karmically that you need to learn. Maybe you did a harm to another in another life, and or even in this one, you need to balance the scales. You need to learn the lesson and choose the higher path this time. We're very cyclical, so we're going to go around and around and around until we learn that lesson. So the more willing you are in the face of adversity to say, is this something I need to heal within myself so I'm no longer attracting this? Or is my light just creating this so that another person can heal? So just try and use your discernment and call upon your guidance to figure out what the lesson is. And as soon as you're able to forgive, and forgiveness isn't necessarily for the other, it's for yourself. You can certainly forgive another, but it can be hard if you're feeling kind of victimized by someone. So just forgive yourself for attracting the situation to yourself and learn the lesson as quickly as possible and just clear all that energy and just recognize we've all done things we're not happy about or proud about, but we've also done a lot of beautiful, amazing, and wonderful things. There's so many beautiful creations on this planet and beautiful, like-minded individuals who can be challengers and who can also be guides, who can be uplifting and who can be disempowering. And it's up to you to choose who you have in your life and what you attract. So anytime you're feeling like you're victimized by something, just ask for redemption from that energy, ask for healing, ask for clearing, and see what comes through to you. It may be a message that someone says. It may come through repeatedly, so you need to look at it. It may be a book someone recommends. It may be an animal spirit that walks past you that holds a particular energy, so look that up. It may be an angel member that gives you encouragement to recognize when you're on or maybe off path, but rely on your emotions. How does this person make you feel? How does this situation, this job, this living environment, how do you feel? And how can you feel better? Do you simply need to release what's no longer serving you so that you can move forward? Or do you need to honor and respect the other person and recognize that maybe you triggered something in them and they responded to that? Sometimes we don't even say something. We just project a thought at someone and they pick it up. There's a lot of people who are way more awakened and aware now. And so I know as an empath, a lot of people say things to my face, but I feel the underlying energy, which is completely opposite. And it's always kind of funny. And it can make people uncomfortable to be seen when they're trying so hard to hide. So just recognize that that is a fear. And sometimes it's based in shame or guilt. You don't know what anyone else's story is. You don't know the totality of anyone. So be very discerning and careful when you're projecting judgments onto people, because you wouldn't want that happening to you. As far as I'm concerned, if I don't want someone treating me a certain way or doing a certain thing to me that I feel is harmful, then I am not going to be the one who's going to be doing that to them, because I'm very much awakened and aware of how all of my thoughts and feelings and deeds are going out there. And if you do slip up, you're tired or you're overworked or whatever, and you say something or think something or feel something that maybe you're not proud of, just apologize. If you can't do it in person, apologize energetically, and it will open up the energy for communication. Okay, so I want to do one more quick clearing before I go here. I am a male anavare. Eyo alamea ayani. O avateko alanami. Ayavaito alami. Okay, looks like they've released the shield now and sent it up to the central sun for full clearing. And all of these energies, the abusive energies, everyone involved will be sent to the high courts for justice and for balancing of the scales. And that will trickle down eventually into the 3D so that things will be seen for what they are. These things take time. There's a lot of energies that are clearing, but be assured they are clearing, and we are being freed from these limitations and restrictions that we've been under for a very long time on this planet. So thank you for everyone coming forward and for doing this work, doing your shadow work. It helps everyone on the planet when you light up and start doing what you need to do and looking within yourself and clearing out your own shadows. It helps everybody. It raises the vibration for everyone. Even those that we think are, unredeemable will eventually shift and be upgraded. So just hold light and faith and hope for them. You cannot do their work for them. They must do it themselves. They absolutely must. So don't feel guilty if you need to walk away, if you have to let them go. You could spend your whole life waiting for someone and they're, going to need another 30 lifetimes to catch up. It's just the way of it sometimes. People get really stuck and they get really stagnant and they get really trapped in their own mental energy and emotions. And that just causes an even greater trauma for them to have to overcome because they're not willing to do the work. So you just need to let go. Find what brings you joy. Find what brings you peace. Don't allow anyone to interrupt your peace, ever. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. If you are benefiting from my channel, please do like, share, subscribe, donate. Everything is very much appreciated. Sending you much love.